British buyers are being pulled into something they don't fully understand. Every day, thousands walk into dealerships and walk out with a £40,000 SUV on finance. They think they've upgraded their life. But what if I told you some of those cars will be worth less in 3 years than these forgotten SUVs are today? And what if the real secret isn't buying new, but knowing which £5,000 SUVs quietly refuse to die? Because hidden across UK forecourts are 7 machines built in a different era when cars were designed to survive, not impress. And the first one? Most people would laugh at it until they see what it can survive. At number 7, a car people call cheap, the Dacia Duster. To most buyers, it looks like the budget option no one chooses. But here's what they don't realise. Underneath that simple shell is something dangerous to the modern SUV industry, a Renault engine so widely used that mechanics say it has already outlived its own reputation. 1.5-litre diesel, used in millions of cars. Meaning every weakness already eliminated by time. But the real shock isn't what it has, it's what it doesn't have. No complicated systems, no fragile electronics, no expensive technology waiting to fail, just raw mechanical simplicity. But simplicity comes with a trade, because what it lacks in comfort, it makes up for in something else, something most modern SUVs have forgotten how to do: survive. But the real question is, if a cheap SUV can survive this long, what happens when you step up just one level? Now we move to something unexpected, because this is where the story changes. The Hyundai iX35, a car born in Hyundai's most important era when they were fighting for survival in the global market. Everything had to be proven, everything had to be tested twice, and it shows. Engines that quietly cross 150,000 miles, gearboxes that refuse to fail like modern rivals, even interiors that still work when premium brands give up. But here's the twist. This car doesn't look special, it doesn't feel special, and yet it keeps going when logic says it shouldn't, which raises a bigger question. If Korean engineering can survive this well, what happens when Japanese reliability enters the story? Now we enter dangerous territory, because this is not just another SUV, this is the Honda Crossing V. And mechanics don't argue about this one, they simply nod. Because this generation represents something rare, a time when Honda refused to build weakness into their engines. The 2.2 diesel inside this car was engineered with one goal: do not brake. Timing chain instead of belt, no unnecessary stress, no fragile systems waiting for failure. And somehow it works. 200,000 miles isn't rare, it's expected. But here's where it gets interesting, because durability alone isn't enough. What happens when reliability meets affordability and still refuses to compromise? That's where the story takes another turn. A few years ago, no one would have taken this car seriously, but the Kia Sportage from this era tells a different story, because Kia didn't just improve, they transformed. From budget brand to real competitor, engines that actually last, build quality that shocked reviewers. And electronics that don't collapse like German rivals. But there's something even more interesting here. This SUV didn't earn respect through luxury, it earned it through consistency. And that leads us to something even more refined, a car that didn't just improve engineering, it refined it. The Mazda CX-5 doesn't shout, it doesn't try to impress you, it just quietly outperforms expectations. Mazda took a different approach. Instead of adding more technology, they reduced failure points, rotary controls instead of fragile touchscreens, overbuilt suspension instead of cost-cut components, engines designed to stay in their comfort zone forever. And reliability data? It doesn't just rank high, it sits in the top tier globally. But even this isn't the peak, because now we enter something different, something built not for trends, but for practicality. Most people ignored it when it launched, too boxy, too strange, too unglamorous. But the Skoda Yeti was never trying to be beautiful, it was trying to be unstoppable. Built on Volkswagen engineering, but without the inflated badge price. Simple engines, solid construction. And clever design choices hidden everywhere. Even small details feel intentional. But there's a catch, because German engineering always comes with one rule. If you maintain it properly, it rewards you. If you don't, it punishes you. Which brings us to the final vehicle, the one that breaks the entire pattern. This is where everything comes together, because the Mitsubishi Outlander isn't just reliable, it's practical in a way modern SUVs forgot. 7 seats, real space, real AWD capability, and a diesel engine shared across multiple manufacturers, meaning parts are everywhere. But here's what makes it dangerous to the new SUV market. It doesn't try to impress anyone, it just works. Families use it, drivers rely on it, and it keeps going long after expectations fade. Because while others chase technology, this SUV does something simpler. It refuses to die. So here's the real question. If £40,000 SUVs are the modern upgrade, why are £5,000 machines still quietly surviving them? Because sometimes the smartest car isn't the newest one. It's the one built before cars became computers on wheels. And once you understand that, you stop buying status and start buying survival. This video explores 7 used SUVs under £5,000 in the UK that are known for long-term reliability and durability, often outperforming much more expensive modern SUVs. It begins by criticizing the modern car market, where buyers are pushed into expensive finance deals for new SUVs that quickly depreciate and become costly to maintain. In contrast, it highlights older, simpler SUVs that were built with mechanical reliability over technology and luxury. Each vehicle is introduced in a story-driven, suspenseful way, gradually revealing why these older models are still trusted today. Dacia Duster. Simple, basic engineering with proven Renault diesel reliability. Hyundai iX35, built during Hyundai's quality improvement era with strong durability. Honda Crossing V, legendary reliability with minimal maintenance needs and long lifespan. Kia Sportage, represents Kia's transformation into a reliable global brand. Mazda CX-5, over-engineered for durability with fewer electronic failure points. Skoda Yeti, Volkswagen-based engineering with practical design and strong build quality. Mitsubishi Outlander, a practical 7-seater SUV offering real-world utility and longevity. The main message of the video is that older, well-maintained SUVs under £5,000 can be more reliable and cost-effective than modern, expensive SUVs. These £5,000 SUVs are not just cheap used cars, they are survival tools for people whose jobs depend heavily on driving. A care worker uses them for constant home visits across different locations, where reliability is more important than looks. A breakdown means lost income and missed patients. A delivery driver depends on them for high-mileage stop-start driving, where fuel efficiency and durability directly affect earnings. For a taxi or ride-hailing driver, the car becomes a full-time workplace, so comfort and non-stop reliability are essential to keep income flowing. Meanwhile, field technicians and construction workers need space, toughness, and the ability to handle rough roads and heavy use without failure. That's why SUVs like the Crossing V, Duster, CX-5, Yeti and Outlander are popular in these jobs, not because they are luxury, but because they simply keep working when it matters most. Thank you for watching this. Don't forget to subscribe.